I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome here, everyone. And at this time, I would like to give the opening to Councillor Michael Zwaagstra.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, here we are, October 21st, 2025. Do you know it's only 1 year away? That's right. Election time is coming right up. The next municipal election takes place October 28th, 2026. On that day, voters in most municipalities across Manitoba, including right here in Steinbach, will head to the polls to select their representatives for the next 4 years. Now, if you look around this council table, you'll see people who have significant experience on city council. We've got 3 councillors nearing the end of their 2nd term, 2 nearing the end of their 4th terms, and 2 nearing the end of their 5th terms. Obviously, I don't know who plans to run again at this point, nor do I know how many new candidates will put their names forward in the next election. However, for those new candidates who are thinking about running next year, I wanted to give just some words of advice based on some things I've learned over my time on council. The first is to be prepared to be overwhelmed by how many difficult decisions you will need to make during your time on council. If you're a single issue candidate, remember that there's a whole lot more to being a councillor than simply supporting or opposing one particular project. You will need to balance competing budget priorities, decide whether to approve specific variances and conditional uses, review and update city bylaws, manage your relationship with neighboring municipalities, and figure out how best to explain all of your decisions to the news media. Keep in mind that you will do all of this under the watchful eye of your friends and neighbors. To put it bluntly, if you don't like making tough decisions, don't run for council. I can guarantee that at least some of the decisions you make will disappoint one group or another in the city. That is the reality of politics. The second thing I'd suggest is that you need to be prepared to work together with others. In other words, take the human factor into account when doing your work on council. This is something that I've had to learn the hard way. During my early years on council, I thought far too highly of myself and my opinions, and I felt that I could just push my ideas through with the force of my arguments. While I was able to win some votes on council and get some good media attention, it took me a while before I learned to appreciate that being a councillor is about being part of a team. This doesn't mean that you need to put your own ideas aside or just to go along to get along, but it does mean recognizing that everyone in council was duly elected by the residents of Steinbach. It's through the discussions and deliberations that with our fellow council members that we eventually come to the decisions that set the direction of our city. If I could go back and give 30-year-old me some advice in 2006, it would be to put a lot more effort into building positive relationships with your fellow council members and with key community leaders. So to anyone who is thinking of running, I implore you not to make the same mistakes that I did when I first got elected. Never forget the importance of the human factor in politics. Finally, anyone thinking of running for council needs to recognize that there's a lot more to this job than a few meetings a month. You will be a councillor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This means being prepared to answer questions about council matters when you're at the grocery store, at church, at your job, and at your family gatherings. In many ways, being a member of council is like being in a fishbowl. Everything you do is in clear view of the public. If you can't stand the fishbowl, then politics isn't for you. Now, hopefully, these words of advice don't dissuade people from running for council, because we do need good people to run at all levels of government. And while this job is challenging, it is also incredibly rewarding. There is no greater honor than being involved in the decision-making of the fastest growing and best city in the province. Being elected to serve the people of Steinbach is an incredible privilege, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how many new people put their names forward in next year's municipal election. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Zwaagstra. Council, we have the agenda in front of us, looking for a motion to adopt. Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Hebert. Call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, the minutes of October 7th, 2025, the regular council meeting. We've all had a chance to review, looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Penner, second by Councillor Hebert. Call for the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, is there any business arising from the minutes? Okay, seeing none. Council, we have no public hearing today, but we do have a number of delegations. So, and I've spoken to our first delegation, the S.T.A.R.S. They are ready to present right now. So I think we'll call them up and we'll get started with our delegations. So we're welcoming Madeline Wieler and Tammy Beauregard. Go ahead. Thank you very much. Good to see you again.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. So happy to be here, and thank you so much to the City of Steinbach, to the Mayor and the Council for supporting S.T.A.R.S throughout the years. And we just want to say thank you to the partnership and give you a little update and impact of where those dollars have gone. So next slide, please. So S.T.A.R.S, we operate in Western Canada, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. It was actually our 40th anniversary this year. We started in Alberta. We have 6 bases: Grand Prairie, Edmonton, Calgary, Saskatoon, Regina, Winnipeg. Out of the 6, Winnipeg is the busiest base. We average over 800 helicopter missions a year. And with our fixed wing missions, that's the 1,200 number you see up there. So we are very, very busy here in mighty Manitoba. Next slide, please. So what that looks like for Steinbach, we're probably here over 4 to 3 calls a year to Steinbach, and then once you consider surrounding communities and area, still around the 40 number as well. So we're here quite regularly. Typically, I say we come to Steinbach area weekly throughout a calendar year. Next slide, please.
So over the last 5 years that we've been coming and speaking to council, you guys have been able to donate to us, and thank you so much. This over $67,000. And you guys, I just want to let you all know, and your council, your community, thank you so much. With that, you've been able to impact over 3,500 people. You've been able to help us be having blood on board. So we used to carry 2 units of blood. Now we carry 4 units of blood since 2019. We do hemorrhaging protocol. We have tiny ultrasounds now that plug into your phone, and we're able to do that. We're piloting new medical projects that are happening on board our S.T.A.R.S air ambulance to be there for the next patients. So you guys are all allowing us to do that. We also are taking education out into your communities. So next week, we have some education that's coming on.
Yeah, so next slide, please. So most people don't realize this about S.T.A.R.S, but communities give to us to keep us in the air, but we also give back to our communities. We work with our local firefighters, we train them how to land the helicopters, but we also give back to rural and local hospitals. We train the medical staff, physicians, and nurses. Next month in November, we have our medical outreach officer. She'll be in the Steinbach Hospital. There's a residence academic day, so teaching day, education day for doctors in training at the Steinbach Hospital here. So we're very pleased about that and happy to work with the community and give back to Steinbach as well. Next slide.
So that's it in the nutshell, but love to hear if there's any questions. Is there any questions that you have or anything else you would like to hear about from us on what you guys are donating to us?
Okay. Well, I will open up for questions right away, but I just want to on behalf of council, thank you for what you do for the city of Steinbach in providing life-saving medical services for the residents of Steinbach and our region. And you know, every so often you hear about a real tragic accident and you hear S.T.A.R.S was released. And then mostly you hear good stories out of that, right? Because you take, there's very critical small amount of time that you have to work with that patient, and with S.T.A.R.S you increase the probability of survival, and for that we are very thankful. Thank you. Councillor, any questions? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through you. Hopefully I never have to ride in your ambulance. But can you tell me, the 43 calls to Steinbach and then 41 surrounding area, are those all accidents, or are there heart attacks, or are there other issues that you fly for?
Yeah, great question. So I can't tell you what the accidents are. To be honest, I don't know that either. Obviously, it's all privacy, but What I can tell you is that some of them will be scene calls and some of them will be interfacility. But what we don't know is, were they interfacility that a scene call happened just down the road and the ambulance was quicker to get to them, to bring them to a hospital to start some of the stabilizing, but then there still needs to be a extra care that needs to be done, so life-saving care, that there just needs to be more time. So it only takes 15 minutes for us to fly here into Steinbach from Winnipeg. So it could be that somebody was bleeding out, they need more blood. Could be that we needed to stop the bleeding. It could have been a number of different things. I can't tell you exactly what that could have been.
Just one more, Mr. Mayor. And you fly out of where in Steinbach? Out of the airport, or?
Yes,
So
that's
we
correct.
transport by ground to the airport?
That's correct.
And they fly in. Okay,
That's correct.
thank you.
Okay. And same way, if they're coming to Steinbach for the services, you would fly to the airport, and then we would take them to our Bethesda hospital.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Anything further?
So we hope that you consider us for next year in your budget once again, and thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, we will be having all these budget talks in November, so
Of course.
that is definitely a line item, and we will be discussing that. So, yes, thank you very much for coming. It's very timely that you've come now before our study session in November.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you at AMM next month as well.
Oh, yeah.
Come over to our booth, we'll have a calendar for you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Okay, moving along, we have 7B. This is Meg Robinson, Rainstorm event September 11th and 12th. Hey Meg, because everything's recorded, I would just request that you state your name, your address, and then continue. And I just want to thank you for coming to have this dialogue with us, and hopefully that through all this, you can help us understand to a greater degree the challenges that your neighborhood had. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. My name is Meg Robinson. I live at 270 Gulfview Crescent in Steinbach. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the residents of Georgetown who live on Gulfview Crescent, Eagle Place, Valerie Lane, Penfield, Parkview, Parkside, and George Place. My name is Meg Robinson. I'm a Georgetown resident, and I have lived through 5 sewage backups in my lifetime. I'm here on behalf of my neighbors and my mom, who have been through an amount of stress that has caused significant health issues, that has taken years off our lives, caused unbelievable property damage to the homes we love, and resulted in irreversible financial damage to hundreds of residents. Our mission for this meeting is to find answers to our questions and a long-term solution for the sewer backup problem in our neighborhoods. Our desire is to work with the city to solve this problem. We love our home, we love our neighborhood, and we love our neighbors. We are proud of where we live, and we are happy to take care of it. Our neighborhood has long been a sought-after neighborhood until our neighborhood's infrastructure started failing us and has jeopardized our most valuable assets, our homes. Our neighborhood has been disproportionately affected by sewage backup, making us wonder about the cause and efficacy of our system. Since we've been through 5 sewage backups with the max amount of protections, it seems that there is an external issue that needs to be addressed. We wonder if our system is able to adequately service the amount of homes, let alone the increasing amount of homes being tacked onto our seemingly already overloaded system. Our wonderful neighbors have been dealing with the trauma of a pattern of multiple sewage backups, 2 in the past year alone, with no end in sight and no clear direction from the city of Steinbach of what we can do. We rely on the city, and we are turning to the very people who are tasked to ensure our sewer system is of good working condition to handle the load. We do not sleep at night when we hear rain, and we are unable to live our lives when rain is forecast. This is why we are here, to ask questions and request your cooperation to find answers and solution to this nightmare for our neighborhood. Here are some of the questions that have come up for us. We are not experts or engineers, so we are turning to you, the experts, to help us understand what is happening to us. As far as we know, In 1988, Georgetown was designed and developed. As far as we can determine from the drawings obtained by the city of Steinbach, our sewer system was originally designed to service around 150 lots in only this area. The sewer line, designed in 1988 and is still currently used in our area, runs from Gulfview Crescent up Penfield Drive to Highway 12, then to Park Road, and to Lift Station 1, as seen on the map. In 2002, the Steinbach Aquatic Center was built. From what we can tell, instead of running the sewer line from the pool all the way down Park Road to Lift Station 1, the line was instead joined onto our 1988 Georgetown sewer line, which maybe at the time was for cost and time-saving purposes, but we are wondering, could this be a part of the problem? Shortly after, in 2002 and 2003, the Granite Park development was added onto the 1988 Georgetown sewer line. Coincidentally, in 2002, our neighborhood was flooded with sewage for the first time. This horrific event was the first of many for us. Homes were destroyed and businesses like McDonald's and Clear Spring Mall endured significant damage. By 2014, another development had been completed and tacked onto the 1988 Georgetown sewer line, the Clear Spring Greens development. Coincidentally again, in 2014, our neighborhood was flooded with sewage. Now in 2025, the 1988 Georgetown sewer line, for what we know was originally designed to service its original 150 lots, is now taking on an additional load of approximately 165 lots from Clear Spring Greens, plus another additional load of about 200 lots from Granite Park Crescent and Stonebridge Crossing area, plus the load of new apartment buildings, senior residences, the aquatic center, the golf course, and who knows what else. The Steinbach Aquatic Center was closed for annual maintenance between September 2nd to 14th this year. Every year, the outdoor pool is drained in September, and potentially other maintenance on the indoor pool is done. This makes us wonder, again, we're not engineers, what is the effect every September when all the water from the outdoor pool is drained into our sewer system? Or whenever there is maintenance done on the pool, how does the draining of all that water affect our sewer system and the residents around it? Coincidentally, during the sewage backup in 2024 and 2025, the pool was under maintenance during those times. All of this is great concern to us. We have many questions as to the ability of the sewer system designed in 1988 to handle 3 to 4 times the volume of the sewage. We don't know if it was ever meant to handle this much. Again, we are not engineers, we are just citizens that are trying to figure out this nightmare and get help from the city. Clear Spring Greens is a low-pressure septic tank system that was added onto the 1988 Georgetown sewer system, which is a high-pressure gravity sewer system. We wonder if mixing those two systems affect the ability of our 1988 Georgetown sewer system to function properly. We have asked the city for any record of analysis done lately by an engineer, but have not yet received a reply. We have been alerting the city of this problem and our concern of the efficacy of the sewer system for over 10 years. This problem still exists, obviously, because we still get flooded. Our goal is to have open communication with the city to work together to mitigate this problem and get clear on what the problem actually is. After last year's flood, we were in such disbelief that we had sewage again, even though we have every precaution. We wondered if anyone else was experiencing what we were experiencing. And so, me and my mom went door to door in our neighborhood to research and survey ourselves. As a result, we were able to gain a small glimpse into our neighborhood situation. According to our neighborhood surveys of 83 homes, on September 17th, 2024, 39 homes, or 47%, experienced sewer backup. On September 12th, 2025, 58 homes, or 69%, experienced sewer backup. This is absolutely unacceptable. Many of us, including our family, are having sewage backup in our homes despite having working and frequently inspected backwater valves and sump pumps. We are doing the most we can to prevent any sewage backup coming into our homes. The City of Steinbach has explained that it has 2 separate systems, number 1 being the Steinbach sewer system, number 2 being the storm drainage system. They're designed to operate independently of one another. The sewer system is designed to accept only wastewater generated by toilets, sinks, drains, and other indoor home water uses. It is not meant to carry rainwater and land drainage water. The storm drainage system is a completely separate system and is designed to carry and drain away any rainwater from the city. We have been told that all the sewage from the city passes through Lift Station 1 on Park Road West. As per the records from the pump station on September 17th, 2024, we had at least 4 times the normal average amount of sewage being pumped through the lift station. During the flood of September 12th, 2025, the lift station was pumping at a rate of 465 liters per second, surpassing its rated capacity, and ran continuously for about 20 hours before returning to normal. This leads us to the following questions. Where is all the extra sewage coming from that is backing up into our homes? How is the extra wastewater getting into the sewer system? If the system is being infiltrated, how can it be stopped and rectified? If the city suggests that the 4 times the normal amount of sewage might be due to households pumping their sump pumps into the sewer, then we need proof that this is the only cause. And if that is the problem, then what is the city currently doing to stop this? Because my mom and I, who are already doing everything recommended to us by the city, are suffering over and over, and we don't know what else we can possibly do. If we did, we would surely do it. In 2024, the auxiliary storm pump was activated around 9 a.m. on September 17th, and this year it was activated at 12:12 a.m. on September 12th. Both years, at the time that the pump was activated, we were already scrambling to try and manage the sewage that was already overflowing into our home. By the time the large amount of excess sewage reaches the lift station 1, overwhelming the regular pumps and requiring the auxiliary storm pump to be activated, it is too late for our home and our neighbors. Each significant rainfall, the same areas seem to be affected by sewage backup. It seems to be a pattern. Somehow our neighborhood is the first on the backup list. We're wondering if it's due to our distance from lift station 1. We don't know. A mainline backup valve can withstand at least 50 psi, which is ample in most residential applications, and more than meets the Manitoba plumbing codes. We had our plumber come to our basement to check and confirm that our backwater valve was working as designed while sewage was flowing into our home. We are dumbfounded by how much pressure that there must be in our 1988 Georgetown sewer system to have this result. How is our antiquated sewer system supposed to deal with this pressure that we can see with our own eyes? Furthermore, what are we supposed to do as individuals? Here's a quote from one of our neighbors. We have gone above and beyond to prevent these rain events from flooding us, upgrading weeping tile, properly maintaining our sewer backup valve, and having double sump pumps. There is literally nothing else we can do to protect our house more than we already have. Yet, they still back up with sewage, like the rest of us in our neighborhood. We completely finished our basement in 2010, which initially cost $60,000, not including furniture. We have had to redo our basement 5 times. At the very least, we've spent an additional $150,000 on our basement after 5 floods. For the first 2 out of 5 floods, we had insurance, and it partially covered our costs. However, after our second claim in 2014, we no longer qualified for sewer backup insurance. Many neighbors already do not qualify for insurance, or they're worried that they will not qualify due to the seemingly high risk of reoccurrence of flooding in our area. If by some miracle they do still qualify, their premiums have gone up greatly, and the coverage amount is a fraction of the cost of actual damage. When we did have insurance, a cleanup crew of several workers arrived wearing hazmat suits, completing days of work, using heavy-duty equipment and specialized products to handle toxic waste. Without insurance, during the last 2 times of flooding, my mom and I had no choice but to take on this work all by ourselves. It's just us. With all of these factors and with no answers or end in sight, we need some accountability and help. We feel that we are being failed and left out in the cold. Individual losses in our neighborhood can reach over $100,000 for each sewage backup. After these 2 back-to-back floods, the damages combined in our neighborhood would add up to millions of dollars paid out of pocket by residents due to what we believe is a system that is failing us. We are asking for help. What is the city going to do about compensation to homeowners who have experienced damages and losses over and over due to sewer backup? When will it come? Where will it come from? We feel that it is unfair to us as individual citizens to end up spending sleepless nights researching how our sewer system works so we can prevent this, when we want to be able to turn to our government for help and understanding of this emergency and understand why it's happening over and over, and once again, what is happening to ensure it can never happen again. Last year, the city's response to the flood was to apply for the Disaster Financial Assistance Program, which was denied by the province. This year, the city has once again responded by recommending individual homeowners to apply for the program to see if this flooding event qualifies for the provincial flood fund. We are unsatisfied with this response as it still gives us no answers as to why this problem is reoccurring and gives us no confidence that this won't happen again. We understand that the city has been looking for avenues to investigation in this issue and is planning a study as a result of the Disaster Mitigation and Adaptation Fund. However, this fund is to prevent, mitigate, or protect against the impact of disasters like floods. We appreciate this step. However, we are worried that this might only address overland flooding. We feel like this may be overlooked since our sewage issues are perhaps an infrastructure issue first before a climate disaster issue. We are wondering if our 1988 Georgetown sewer system is always overloaded and just rears its ugly head whenever there is a significant rainfall. We wonder if the rainfall might just highlight the capacity or maybe lack thereof in the 1988 Georgetown sewer system. We also acknowledge the plans for upgrades in sewer mains and lift stations. We feel that this again might not address our issue. Adding on to something that appears to be broken is not going to fix the broken part. As far as we know, the plans for twinning the sewer line west of the lift station seems to be a measure to accommodate future development and might not address the current status of our 1988 Georgetown sewer system that does not seem to be able to handle the load it already has. We are unsure that adding new upgrades or new lines would address what we've already been experiencing since 2002. We feel like we get carrots on a stick of hope in reports, studies, and upgrades, but worry that they are all Band-Aid solutions for a larger issue. We wonder if sewage backups will only become more frequent in our area and more widespread in others as the city grows. We wonder if the 1988 Georgetown sewer system cannot properly serve the 2025 Georgetown neighborhood. We want the source of the problems to be addressed. Until this year, when going door to door out of desperation for answers, we never knew how many of our neighbors had sewage backup just like us. Not just once or even twice, which is bad enough, but many of us have had sewage over 3 times, with some unlucky of us having 5 in 2025, 2024, 2019, 2014, and 2002. We never realized the horrific and heartbreaking stories that we all shared together, and that we weren't alone. Learning this has only made me feel more angry and upset, and feeling like we are not being taken care of by the very city that we love so much, and the very city that has stated in their community plan that their policies are to provide and maintain a high level of municipal services, are required to protect the health of residences, and provide orderly development in an economic manner. Protection of the environment and the health of residents is of primary importance to this plan. We have asked for information and answers and are met with no answers of what we can do. We are already doing everything we can, and now we have taken on the responsibility of advocating for change and feeling like we can't rest until we have solutions. We feel like we've been just left to wait until the next time we flood and have to do it all over again. We are desperately asking for your help and for answers. We love our homes, we love our neighbors, we love our neighborhood, and we will not stop asking for answers and action until we know that we can feel safe and sound in our homes once again. Thank you. I don't know if I stay up for questions.
Thank you, Meg. Yes, can you submit a copy of that report?
Sure.
To our administration, because then we can add it to our stormwater drainage investigation and what we're doing, and then we can take some of that stuff too, because some of that information I know administration has probably would be in our investigation, but it's good to have that for council as well. I'm just wondered if there are any questions for Meg at this time. Okay. Councillor Penner.
I don't know if I have any questions, but I do have a comment. I'm sitting on this side, but my heart is with you today, obviously, as next-door neighbors. We flooded twice, as I have mentioned in a previous meeting, and it really hit me. It was either 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when there was a weather warning for a heavy rain event, and we couldn't sleep. My son, who sleeps in the basement, brought as much of his stuff upstairs just in case. We canceled plans that weekend. I know Glennis, I think, even missed work for that. And it is ridiculous. We are paying a lot of taxes. We should be living in a safe neighborhood, and safety doesn't just involve safety from crime. We need safety from water too in this situation, and to have a neighborhood that has PTSD from consistent flooding is not acceptable. And I know I can speak for myself, but I know also from speaking to council, we are 100% committed to this and are planning to do something about it next year. Like you said, if we can figure out what that is, and if we can get it done next spring, I believe that is, well, at least something I'm going to be I won't speak for council, but something I will certainly be advocating for, because this isn't okay. We can't continue to live like this. So I just really appreciate how thorough your presentation was, and that you took the time to do it, took the time to advocate on behalf of the neighborhood, and just even on a personal level, I appreciate you bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Anything further? Well, Meg, I do want to tell you it was a great presentation. Thank you. Yes, I want to echo Councillor Susan and we are serious. And even our staff and administration too, we are serious at looking at what can be done.
Thank you.
And we will be in contact with you. I do believe this will be, like you say, it'll be Steinbach and the residents working together to make this work. In the past, when we've had challenges like on the Giesbrecht, there was a lot of flooding in like early 2000s there as well, and that was definitely done between the city of Steinbach, did some improvements, homeowners did some improvements, and they haven't had problems since. So I do believe that we will be looking at this very seriously, and we will be in contact with you in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have 7C, Steinbach and Area Rescue Rainstorm event for also September 11th and 12th, 2025. You take the podium. Michelle, we'll have you also say your name and your address too. Thank you.
Michelle Neufeld. I'm 250 Stonebridge Crossing, but I'm speaking on behalf of 39 Keating Road. I am the president of the Steinbach and Area Animal Rescue, and I don't want to be here tonight. I'm disappointed, and that disappointment is because this is the second year in a row that our facility has flooded. We are a not-for-profit run entirely by volunteers. We do not make any money. Every cent we raise goes toward animals in our care, to low-cost spay and neuter clinics, for our community, to vaccinations, medical care, and food. That money that should have gone towards animals was spent on pumps, cleanups, repairs, and outrageous insurance deductibles of $25,000. This is devastating for us, and it is a betrayal of our trust that for our donors placed in us, especially since last year. We raised concerns about the creek beside our property off Keating Road last fall, and we were told the creek was not the problem. It was 1 in 100-year flood. We were also told that again this year, which I think can only be told 1 in every 100 years. We disagree. We stand here with photographs and firsthand experience to tell you what I have seen. The creek is not deep enough, not wide enough. It is continuously full of brush, weeds, debris, and it restricts water flow. Even modest rainfalls causes the creek to back up. Heavy rain overwhelms it entirely. My husband was just there today, and we've had light rain over the last few days, and it's completely full and overflooding. When an open channel or drainage way becomes obstructed like this, the water has nowhere to go except our building. The city's public works page states that the department is responsible for ensuring open channels and drainage ways on public property are unobstructed by trees, major debris that could cause backup and restrict flows. We did what we asked when we built this facility at the city's direction. We hired an independent engineer. We spent thousands of dollars on grading plans, berms, and were followed the lock grading and drainage guidelines provided by the city's engineers department. We complied with every requirement placed on us. Despite that, water still came in again this year. Berms and grading cannot make up for a nearby creek that cannot carry water away because it is choked with vegetation and debris. This is not about blame, this is about responsibility and prevention. So tonight I'm asking City Council for 3 straightforward things. 1, immediate creek clearing and maintenance. Direct public works to remove brush, fallen trees, and accumulated debris in the creek north side of our property, and to inspect the channel for any constrictions, culvert collapses, banks, or obstructions that prevent adequate flow. The city's own drainage responsibility include keeping open channels unobstructed to prevent backups. 2, a formal engineering reassessment of the creek and downstream outlet. If the creek is undersized for current conditions, we need a professional assessment paid for or coordinated by the city, and if needed, the province, to identify long-term mitigation, widening, regrading, culvert upgrades, or other structural measures. Provincial rules allow for drainage and water control works to be reviewed and authorized in a way that protects wetlands while addressing flood risks. We need that process to be used to find a durable solution. 3, a clear maintenance schedule and assurance that the creek and this drainage corridor will be included in regular public works maintenance, not just emergency cleanup after every storm. The uncertainty and silence after last year's flood must end. We are not asking for special treatment. We follow the rules. We are asking for the same basic protection any property owner expects: to have a public drainage channel kept clear so water can flow where it's supposed to. Municipalities across the province and the province itself have programs and policies to help prevent and respond to flood damage. We ask that Steinbach use those tools proactively rather than reactively. Finally, I want to say this plainly: our community supports us because we serve the community. We run spay and neuter clinics, we find homes for animals, we teach children in schools about the responsibility of pet ownership. We pour our hearts and souls and our donors' money into that building, and that was meant to keep animals safe, and now the building is itself unsafe during storms. Our volunteers and supporters are there to help take care of our animals and find loving homes for them, not to continuously support us and the cleanup efforts due to negligence on the creek beside us. Please hear me when I say we need this action. We need a plan, we need a commitment, and we need it from City Council. Our insurance is up for renewal in November, and we risk not getting it unless a plan has been formed to fix the problem. We have excavated the window wells. We have had a contractor enlarge and raise them using concrete. Additionally, we will be placing placed around the building, fill placed around our building to protect drainage and the building. I have sent some pictures. You can see the creek beside us. There's also some pictures that I sent of when it's completely full. You can see that there's no way water can properly go through that creek. You can't even walk through it. This picture here is just from a mild rainstorm. So I'd like to thank you for your time. We are prepared to work with the city staff to show you the site and to share what we've documented and to be part of a solution, but we need the city to lead and to fulfill its responsibility to keep public drainage channels clear and functioning so that no other volunteer-run nonprofit facility has to stand here and beg for prevention after a disaster strikes twice. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. I'll ask you the same thing. Can you forward a copy of your presentation? Yeah? Or is, okay, and any questions of council? No? Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much for your presentation. And again, I can just reiterate what we said. We are serious. We will have we'll have all of this in a package for us for our stormwater drainage investigation that we will be looking at our study session. And we are, yeah, we're committed to looking at solutions for this and seeing what can be done there. So we do thank you very much. We are, we feel for you, we feel for everyone that has had water in their basement, and many of us councillors have had as well. And we'll, like we've done in the past, we'll get through this together. So, anything further? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to make a quick comment and here to the residents that are present. Oftentimes, people that are elected to office are looked upon as though we are the ones that are defending the city. And in some instances, that is true. In some instances, we are defending our decisions. In other instances, we are representing you to the city and the administration. So just want to re-clarify that this is one of those instances where we are representing you to come up to a solution, not necessarily defending the city. So I hope that gives you some peace going from here.
Yeah. And along with our staff, we are serious about working on this with you. Thank you. Okay, Council, well, I guess we'll keep moving along. We have got no reports and recommendations from City Manager. We've got number 9, Administration. 9A, Accounts Payable. We've all had a chance to review, looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hebert, second by Councillor Siemens. Any comments?
Paying our bills, thank you.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We have 9B, Subdivision 4451, 2025, 9144. This is referring to 896 Main Street Resolution. Mr. Working, could you please introduce this file?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This application for subdivision, file number, as you noted, is respecting a property that is located at 896 Main Street in Steinbach. The proposal for subdivision is seeking to subdivide an existing parcel of land which now contains a single-family residence into 2 parcels with the intent of creating a new residential building lot in that location. This subdivision file also has a related file, which is variance file V-2025-08, which Council considered earlier this year, which was an application to permit a lot width of 77.75 feet, whereas a minimum of 100 feet is required. Council decision respecting that file was to approve subject to the execution of a development agreement and also the subsequent approval of a subdivision. This is that subdivision application. Recommendation from administration is that the application for subject be approved, application for subdivision be approved subject to the execution of a development agreement and a shared access agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Working. Okay, Council, how would you like to proceed on this? Looking for a resolution for subdivision. Councillor Zwaagstra,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll make a motion to approve.
second by Councillor Hebert. Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As explained, this is for a subdivision at 896 Main Street to subdivide the existing parcel of land into 2 parcels. This is, there was a variance that had been granted here previously to allow for the slightly narrower lot width. All due diligence has been done, and so the recommendation from staff is to proceed to allow the subdivision. And so I think it makes sense for us to proceed and to allow it.
Anything further?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Looking at the diagram and the subdivision here, we note that the application is applying for the 77 feet versus the 100 feet that's required usually for a subdivision. We also note that there's 565 feet of depth in this lot. Like, that is a very huge lot. And because of the square footage of that property and being an older part of town, I at this time will support the subdivision of 77 feet.
Okay, thank you. Anything further? Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just also want to comment on the report, city planning report, and I agree with it. The difficulty in the area is attempting to work with existing uses. This is an area of town where it is chopped up into many different lots, different size lots, and again, this is a strangely shaped lot, but there hasn't been a lot of construction at that end of our community for a variety of reasons, and it could be because some of the lots are odd shaped. And so we have someone who's come along now and purchased it and wants to develop it, and I agree with the motion that we should do it, but I agree with the comments here made by the city planner that it's a difficult area to attempt to work with because there are some limitations on development. So I think I like it that somebody's come in and thought about what has to happen and to make it work and is attempting to do so, and so we should support that.
Thank you. Anything further? Nope. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, it's that time of year again, the Board of Revision, making some appointments by the mayor. I've got on page 42, I've got a resolution. I've got Matt Wieler has agreed to be the presiding officer. Gerald Banman will be a member, and also Chris Gertson will be a member of the Board of Revision. I'm looking for ratification by council with a motion. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve your recommendation.
By Councillor Penner. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think it's better than council sitting on Board of Revisions, as we did when we first got on council. But you've got some good choices here, and both have a lot of experience in different areas, so you've got a good combination of people that have experience in different areas.
Anything further?
Nothing further.
Okay. Anything further of council? Okay. Well, thank you, Councillor Siemens. That's exactly what I thought. I thought there's very diverse knowledge here. Matt Wieler in mortgages, so he would know values. Gerald Banman in insurance all his career. And then Chris Gertson being former mayor, he would also be well-versed in the life of the assessment branch. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. We've got 9D, Rezoning By-Law 2266. This is referring to 635 and 641 Main Street. Council, this will be first reading. Mr. Workney, could you please introduce this file?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Rezoning By-Law 2266 is being applied for by Hillside Construction, Inc., with the owner of the properties being Heinrich and Edna Heinrichs. The purpose of the application is to rezone the subject properties from RLD residential low density to RMD residential medium density in order to permit a multifamily residential development to be constructed. This is being presented to council for first reading. The recommendation from administration is that council give this bylaw first reading so that a public hearing may be scheduled for later this fall.
Council, would you like to proceed? Councillor Zwaagstra.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll make the motion for first reading.
Second by Councillor Penner. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is obviously a significant proposal for 635 and 641 Main Street. It would rezone property from low density to medium density, and specifically what's being proposed is to construct a 36-unit multifamily residential building. The purpose of first reading is to enable a public hearing to happen. At that public hearing, we will hear from the applicant, and the neighborhood will also have a chance to comment, and so a final decision is made at this time. So again, I think it's important to approve first reading so that way we can have the public hearing and get the full information.
Anything further?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Generally, when you hear Main Street and rezone RLD to our residential medium density, it's a no-brainer, but this is a bit of a different situation. This is a little bit further down on Main Street where we have a significant amount of residential low density. Having said that, on that block, there is a bit of a change of the housing, and there is a little bit RMD that has been going up. So going through first reading to hear from the public is a good opportunity to hear how that neighborhood wants to see their area develop further.
Thank you. Anything further, council? Anything closing? Yeah, council, I've met with the developer. It's a bit of a unique development that they're looking at, and I would really like to hear from the public to see what their thoughts are in the neighborhood. Call for the question. All those in favor of first reading? Opposed? That is carried. 9E, Road Widening By-Law, 2269. This is referring to Friesen Avenue. This is again first reading. Mr. Workstein, could you please introduce this file?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The proposed road widening bylaw 2269 is a proposal to widen a small portion of Friesen Avenue where it intersects with Helmdale Street in Steinbach. The adjacent property, being 247 Main Street, is currently in process of being redeveloped. As part of that redevelopment, the city identified an opportunity to slightly widen the corner of that intersection to allow for future infrastructure. Recommendation from administration is that council give this bylaw first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Worthing. Council, how would you like to proceed? Councillor Penner?
Motion for first reading.
Second by Councillor Hebert. Go ahead, Councillor Penner.
I don't have much to add other than that this opens up for the public to speak if they have any questions or concerns about this.
Anything further?
That's all. Thank you.
Anything further of council? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, on page 59, we've got business licenses. Looking for a motion to approve. Councillor Hebert, second by Councillor Penner. Any comments?
No comments. Just nice to see that businesses are taking satisfaction and confidence in the city and getting these licenses. Thank you.
Anything further, Councillor Penner? Okay,
Nothing
seeing none.
further, no.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Council, are there any questions of council at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to correspondence and petitions. This is 11A, Operation Red Nose, sponsorship request. Council, would you like to proceed, take as information at this time? Okay. We've got the 11B, JCAP Library minutes. This is referring to October 15th, 2025. Council, would you like to proceed, take as information? Okay. We've got 11C. This is the AMM Cities Caucus Letter of Support Request. This is the Medical Campus, Brandon University. Council, about 2 years ago, I guess, a year and a half ago, Councillor Penner and I, we've been working together on this. There was a doctor recruitment task force, and out of that came some recommendations, and one of those recommendations was to have local students from local, like from Steinbach or Thompson, go to university, become trained for doctors, and go back to their communities and serve. And that usually makes sense because they stay because their supports are in place. Plus, then also adding a return of service for some help in tuition is just another bonus and plus. And now the AMM Cities Caucus has been working together on this, and Brandon University has offered to, if we put a medical faculty in the university, then they would be basically the rural stream. So they would be accepting student doctors that want to practice rural medicine and rural family medicine. So they would go there in a more of a rural setting, and they would be basically working together with the Max Rady College of Medicine, but they would be being taught there in a rural setting, and then they would go back to their communities and serve. This would take care of the long-term doctor shortage that we're looking at. So now the Sherry Lynn Knox is the mayor of Portage. She is the chairperson for the AMM Cities Caucus. And so she has written this letter that she wants to send, but she's wanting us to all sign on board, all 10 cities. And I would like it if we could have a motion that states that we will sign this letter and we will send it in, that we do it by motion. Councillor Susan Penner, would you like to move it?
I would love to.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Do I need a seconder?
Oh, sorry, yes, we need a second. I'm just assuming we'll get one.
All right, I prepared a few.
Councillor Siemens is second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I prepared a few comments. As we all know, our province faces a significant and ongoing shortage of family doctors, and the communities outside Winnipeg are disproportionately affected. A 2024 update from Doctors Manitoba reported that our province has 219 physicians per 100,000 residents, the second lowest supply in the country. To reach the national average, Manitoba would need 346 more doctors. The situation is especially acute in primary care. Manitoba currently ranks last in the country for family physicians per capita, according to the 2024 report. The challenge is compounded by looming retirements. The Doctors Manitoba report notes that in the next 3 years, an estimated 688 physicians, about 20% of Manitoba's active physician workforce, are considering retiring, relocating, or reducing their clinical hours. Clearly, there is an urgent need to address this shortage. One opportunity is outlined in the letter from AMM Cities Caucus, the establishment of a 4-year medical campus at Brandon University that focuses on family medicine in rural and northern settings, which increases the likelihood that graduates will stay and practice in those regions. In our own work on this issue, the mayor and I discovered a number of important things about medical graduates at the Max Rady College of Medicine at the University of Manitoba. First of all, many of the students choose to specialize, so while there are 110 graduates in a year, not nearly all of them practice family medicine. In addition, there are more residency spots available than students to fill them, meaning that we need to look internationally for doctors. Further, there are approximately 1,100 applications to the School of Medicine in a year, with nearly 300 of the applicants deemed qualified enough to get an interview. There are many eager and willing students wanting to become doctors, but there just aren't enough seats. From my perspective, a medical campus in Brandon is an opportunity for the province to make a tangible and lasting difference on healthcare in Manitoba. Too many Manitobans, including myself and my family, are currently without a doctor and are not receiving the care they need. In addition, I would encourage the Chambers of Commerce in Manitoba to also send a letter to the Minister of Health outlining how doctor shortages impact the economies of rural and northern communities as well. A strong economy is better able to support healthcare. However, doctor shortages can prevent investment. In closing, the letter from AMM Cities Caucus to the Minister of Health is an excellent step in the right direction. Ensuring that we have enough strong family medicine capacity in our region is not optional. It is essential to our community's health and future. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further?
I don't have a lot to add, Mr. Mayor, but our family also has, our family doctor is located in Winnipeg. I also have been doing some work through Find a Doctor Manitoba and so on. There are approximately 8,000 names on that list in Steinbach, an area that are looking for a family doctor in this area. So I think this is a critical step. This isn't the solution. This is a step towards the solution. There's many different steps that have to be taken, and this will help. but that discussion needs to continue. We, as a council, one of our pillars is advocacy. This is part of that. And so I appreciate the comments that Councillor Penner made, also the direction that this is hopefully going to go.
Thank you. Anything further? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I certainly support this, this letter as well. This is an example of how municipalities can contribute in a positive way to the healthcare discussion. Healthcare is a provincial responsibility, so obviously municipalities, we don't run the hospital, we can't dictate health policy, but we can recommend in a focused way some specific solutions that we ask the province to continue. And I really like the fact that the municipalities are working together in this way. And frankly, Councillor Susan Penner's leadership in this has been phenomenal. And together with yourself, Mr. Mayor, have really been the driving force behind this. Because it's true, if you have people that live in a community and then they go to medical school, there's your easiest recruits. There they are. I mean, they're the ones who are going to stay. I mean, my wife just recently graduated from medical school. She's our easiest person to convince to stay in Steinbach because we're already in Steinbach. So we have more people who live here and then choose to go to medical school. And if we create more spaces for people who want to do that, that's how we get more doctors. So I fully support this initiative here, and the leadership that's been shown by Councillor Penner and yourself is exactly what we need on this file.
Thank you. Anything further of council? Anything in closing?
I just wanted to close by saying the real goal with this is to work together to create a win for the province. We've had many conversations with many stakeholders when it comes to this issue, and everybody's trying to do the right thing. Everybody knows there's a problem. And the idea is not to be pointing fingers, not to, hold somebody against the wall on this. We just really together want to have a win, obviously for our community, but it's just not for our community, it's for Manitoba as well. And I think the fact that, all these cities are actually agreeing on something and putting this letter forward, it sends a significant signal to the Minister of Health that this is important to all of us, and that we are willing to do what we can to make it happen.
Well, thank you. And there's not a lot I can add, but I will add, yes, Councillor Susan Penner and I have knocked on many doors. We have made meetings with the university, with the Minister's office. We've had meetings with Southern Health and Doctors Manitoba. Anyone that would talk to us about doctors, we talk to them. And we brought these ideas forward. Everyone loves the ideas, but then they have roadblocks or challenges why they can't perform or implement them in their facilities. But I think this is something with talking with the Mayor Brandon, and this has been ongoing for a long time, talking with him about this and developing a medical center there, and he got a increase in seats to 10, but we need that to triple. That's what we need. We need that to triple, maybe even go to 50 seats if that's possible there. But we need significant investment by the province, and we're never gonna fix this if we don't start taking and dedicating seats to our local students. So if these physician shortages do not get addressed, we will continue to compromise healthcare and the access to healthcare in our communities. And for that reason, it'll be a challenge for our communities to continue to attract people, to grow, and to have a quality of life. Councillor Penner and I have been meeting with large businesses in our community, huge stakeholders in the economic engine of our community, and what many of them have been saying is healthcare is important. Healthcare is something that when they're trying to attract good talent, they're looking, can I have a family doctor? And so short term, yes, IMG students are great, and opening the residencies, enlarging the amount of residency positions we have is wonderful. But we need a long-term approach, and the long-term approach is having Manitoba students that are committed to rural medicine get trained in our community, in our province. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, 11D, we have the Minister for Municipal and Northern Relations. This is referring to Mobility Disadvantage and Transport Program. This is our 2025 interim operating grant. Council, how would you like to proceed? Just take as information at this time. Okay. And there's no other business. Looking for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Pinner, second by Councillor Pinner. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Next council meeting will be the organizational meeting, Tuesday, November 4th. And right after that will be the council meeting, Tuesday, November 4th, 7:30. Thank you, council. And thank you, everyone in attendance.